The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Swing and a miss, strike three.
Got in the kitchen, rattle those pots and pans.
Cashner rings him up, strike shot looking.
4 strikeouts for Cashner. Well done by Cashner.
The Padres' John Jay meets his former Cardinal teammates tonight, hitting a solid .286 as San Diego's leadoff hitter. And 7-time All-Star Yadier Molina off to a robust start for the Redbirds. .345, that's 7th best in the National League. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park on this Friday night with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Should be a terrific series, the Padres and the Cardinals. And the Padres were one of the few teams in the National League last year. You know, the Cardinals won 100 games to have a winning record against St. Louis, but they're going to have to beat a good pitcher tonight.
They are, and that's Adam Wainwright. It's his 4th start of the season. He's 34 years old. He's got some mileage on him. But remember last year he had the Achilles problem? He says that's not a factor. He's 0-2 at 8.27, unheard of. .338 opponent's batting average. His mechanics are off a little bit. He's not finishing. He's different arm slots. The curveball that we just saw there is kind of have a little hump into it. But the 0-2 record, very uncharacteristic, especially the ERA of over 8.
And Andrew Cashner hopes to repeat his performance of last weekend. 6 innings, he allowed only 1 earned run.
Dick, you mentioned the word repeat. Well, Andrew Cashner is doing something Adam Wainwright is not, repeating that delivery. Going inside with the 2-seamer. Above average stuff. One key to look for tonight, Friar Faithful. How about more changeups possibly from Andrew Cashner, because he's got a darn good one, and the opposition doesn't do too well against that pitch, so keep an eye on that.
All right, Cashner is 1-1 against the Cardinals with an ERA below 2. Well, next up, Michelle Margot will join us. She's going to be with the Padres center fielder John Jay. Jay is seeing red, St. Louis red tonight.
Welcome back to Petco Park for Game 1 of the series against the St. Louis Cardinals. And I have a former Cardinal and current Padre himself, John Jay. First time facing the team that drafted you, an organization that you won a World Series with. What are you feeling right now?
I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but I'm looking forward to this game. You know, obviously I spent a lot of years here, a lot of good years, but I'm here as a Padre now, and I'm loving it. And I'm looking forward to facing my former teammates tonight. Any text exchange yet? I talked to a bunch of the guys. I mean, I grew up with a lot of these guys. But you know, I'm looking forward to going out there and competing. How's your approach different in a game like this? It's not different at all. You know, I'm trying to go out there and win a ball game. So I'm going to do whatever, you know, those things that I do to help the team out, and looking forward to hopefully getting some wins out here this week. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Coming up after the break, Andrew Cashman on the hill for the San Diego Padres against Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your San Diego Buick and GMC dealers. By Petco, your complete pet store. By California Center for Sustainable Energy. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. And by Pinnacle on the Park. Make your new home here. Visit pinnacleonthepark.com for details. Well, Friday night is Beer Fest night, and fans, a couple thousand out on the park at the park enjoying the activity starting at 5 o'clock, and we're ready for some baseball on a cool night. 67 degrees, much cooler than the last couple, as we check the starting lineups. First, the umpiring crew, new crew in town. The crew chief is Mike Everett. He'll be behind the plate with Tim Timmons, Sean Barber, and Jordan Baker on the bases. Padres in their brown and gold tonight. And let's take a look at Mike Matheny, the skipper of the Cardinals, in his starting lineup. Matheny, in 4 years as the head man in St. Louis, 4 straight playoffs, 3 consecutive National League Central titles. They won 100 games a year ago.
Yeah, he inherited quite a ball club, and he has earned the respect of all of his players. They play well for him, and they're perennial playoff contending team, that's for sure.
Matheny, a former University of Michigan All-America catcher, high school football and baseball player, the captain of his teams. And as a catcher, was highly regarded for his defensive prowess. He won 4 Gold Gloves, and Yadier Molina has mentioned that he has really benefited from watching Matheny as he came up through the Cardinal organization. Well, the later time on this Friday night, a 7:40 start, and finally they get the call and they're out of the gate and ready to go. A check of the Cardinals lineup brought to you by Hyundai with Matt Carpenter leading it off. Then it's Stephen Piscotty, Matt Holliday in that third slot with Matt Adams, a slugger at first base, Randall Grichuk in center. Yadier Molina will bat sixth, Colton Wong seventh. Ruben Tejada back from spring training injury, a quad injury, finally back in the lineup, and Adam Wainwright on the mound.
And the 29-year-old right-hander making his fourth start, Andrew Kashner, against these Redbirds. His scouting report is brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And put him away with 2 strikes. Some teams are putting the ball in play. I'd like to see the defense play a little better behind Andrew Kashner to put those numbers away, and then pitched good enough last time to win. So he's in a groove. He's got his stuff going right now, and he needs a quick first inning.
Here's the defense behind Kashner, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. That's John Jay, the ex-Cardinal in center, with Kemp in right field and Upton in left. On the infield, Ramirez at shortstop, Rosales to his right, guarding the third baseline, Weeks and Myers on the right side, and Derek Norris behind the plate for the 29-year-old from Conroe, Texas. 1 year at TCU, where he was a teammate of the first man he'll face tonight. Matt Carpenter and Kashner were Horned Frogs for 1 season back in 2008. Like Will Myers of the Padres, Carpenter does not use the batting glove, likes the feel of the bare hands against the bat. A tough leadoff hitter. He's off to a fairly slow start, hitting just .236. And we're set to go with Petco, first of 3 against the Redbirds. And the first pitch of the game, fastball is outside. 94 on his first delivery. Nice breeze tonight, blowing toward the right field corner. That's it typically from the ocean in. 1-1. Carpenter from Prosper, Texas. Figured he'd have a good season, huh? His dad is a baseball coach in high school. Left field, Upton coming in for it and makes the play. Upton's delivered a couple of really terrific plays. Here's Andrew Kashner against the Cardinals with a 1-0 record and a 0.75 ERA in 2 starts.
That is a guy in complete control, staying off the sweet spot, using both sides of the plate. He made a nice pitch there to Matt Carpenter for a quick first out, but it's all about getting ahead, see if they can put him away. I don't know where that one missed, but 94, free and easy gas from Andrew Kashner.
Against the 25-year-old Californian Stanford man, Stephen Piscotty, batting .241 with a couple of home runs. That's a strike. Piscotty last year came up for the last 63 games, hit .305.
Boy, the Cardinals just always find some way to do it.
He had a big game, remember, in August here. He had 2 home runs and knocked in 5 against the Padres. And the 1-2 pitch. Softly hit behind second. Weeks can't get there. So a looping shallow fly ball single for Stephen Piscotty.
Well, believe me, these Cardinal hitters do the scouting report on pitcher Andrew Kashner. Andrew Kashner does the same against the Redbirds. Well, they know he's got the good fastball that moves, and it's going to be in. If it's elevated, they try to fight it off. That's exactly what Piscotty did there.
This will bring up left fielder Matt Holliday. It seems like he's been playing in the National League for 30 years.
Sure does.
He's now 36 out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State, where his dad was the coach. Misses inside.
One thing I really like about Andrew Cashner is a pretty basic motion. He puts himself in a great spot. Foot is down, and look at the ball is facing towards third base. He stays on top of that baseball. Easy motion, easy gas out of that hand of Andrew Cashner.
Holiday, a double play candidate. The Padre infield set for 2. Out of play. Got squeezed on that first pitch at the knees. Well, Holiday, how good is he? Well, his career average is .307. He's clubbed 275 home runs in his outstanding years in the big leagues. And he is the best in the major leagues the last 3 years with runners in scoring position, hitting .379. A money hitter, Holiday. Ooh, that'll get you first base without swinging the bat.
.94-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you. Right in the tricep, shoulder area. And that'll leave a mark. And you could tell that Andrew was upset. He doesn't want to give the Cardinals any free base runners.
That pushes Piscotty into scoring position, so a bloop single and a hit batsman, and they have something brewing early. Matt Adams, the first baseman, steps up. .259 on the young season, just 1 home run. Missed 91 games last year with a quadriceps injury. Off speed for a strike.
And that's a good sign because Adams, one swing of the bat, yeah, he can put a hurting on you. The Cardinals as a team, 2nd in home runs in the National League. That'll work down here, hopefully work for a grounder as the infield is at double play depth up the middle.
And again, that could have been called a strike. 1-1. So tight strike zone so far from Mike Everett.
I wish they would call that high strike. That's a legitimate strike. That's how pitchers set up hitters, by going up and down, in and out to a hitter. And Andrew did not get the call.
Foul back. Yeah, last year that National League Central race was really something, wasn't it? The Cardinals, with all their injuries, won 100 games.
It's amazing.
To take first place, 2 games ahead of Pittsburgh. The Pirates won 98 and the Cubs won 97. Runners lead, 1st and 2nd. 1-2. Again, right on the corner at the knees, doesn't get the call. All 4 of those pitches could be called strikes. This year, the Cubs with a big lead early, 4 ahead of St. Louis. Pittsburgh 4.5. Reds are 5 back in Milwaukee at 5.5.
I think when all is said and done, it's going to be that 3-horse race, like everybody is pretty much predicting throughout baseball. But you never know.
Now, not given a couple of pitches that were painted by Cashner. He falls to 3-2. We'll see if the runners are moving at all here. No. And it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, he had to call that one a strike. He threw it right down the middle, a changeup.
I tell you what, folks, that is some big league pitching by Andrew Cashner. You got the big hoss at the plate. That's a change. Look at that's a changeup right down the middle at 86. You could see the grip. He's looking fastball, 3-2. Pull the string. Grab some pine.
Hardly any rotation on that changeup.
Great pitch.
So 2 away to Randall Grichuk, the center fielder. Slow start, 186. And high for the first pitch.
We talked about the changeup for the strikeout, but how about the fastball for Andrew Cashner? This is major league leaders. The fastball percentage, 77% of the time with Bartolo Colon and Aaron Sanchez of Toronto. As I mentioned in our game open, keep an eye on that changeup from Andrew Cashner tonight.
Went back and looked at his record for 2014 and 15, Cashner. And if you added the curveballs and sliders, 23%, almost a quarter of his pitches were breaking pitches. This year, only 14%. Now he's relying on that fastball more. And that changeup, although tonight has been a good pitch this first inning.
I love the changeup. I really do. I've said that all along. And, you know, power pitchers, you always think good fastball, great slider or curveball. But how about the changeup?
High again, 2-1.
2 breaking balls in a row that just can't get the feel.
Grichuk, 27 years of age, product of Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania. So Andy Green looking on from the first base perch dugout. Mark McGuire, he knows the feeling of wearing that St. Louis Cardinal uniform. 70 home runs as a Cardinal. Man, he's just not going to get anything unless the entire ball is in that strike zone. Yadier Molina waits his turn. Grounded to Weeks. The short toss. Ramirez, and the inning comes to an end. Nothing for the Cardinals in the opening frame. Andrew Kastner will cheer for his lineup as Jay, Myers, and Kemp coming up for the Padres. Adam Wainwright on the hill, and John Jay will get things started for the Padres. And a look at the San Diego lineup brought to you by Toyota. Myers and Kemp and Upton. That's been the first 4 for most of the homestand, with Derek Norris back in the starting lineup hitting 5th. Alexei Ramirez, then Jamiel Weeks 7th, Adam Rosales, and Andrew Kastner. Jay tied for the club lead most hits with 18 here in the first month.
Veteran right-hander, 34-year-old Adam Wainwright. His scouting report is brought to you by Scripps. Heavy off-speed stuff recently for the right-hander, and he's getting killed on the first pitches. We can get into a little bit of that as this game goes on, but teams are teeing off if they get that first pitch fastball and it's in the zone.
It's hard to believe that Wainwright, with his stuff and his reputation, opposing batters hitting .338 so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He'll throw the fastball. He's got the cut fastball and that curveball that we've seen for so many years.
Roll to the right side and right to the bag for the out. Adams led right to that first unassisted put out. Cardinals defense with Holiday in left, Grichuk in center, and Piscotty in right. Around the horn, Carpenter, Tejada, Wong, and Adams. And Molina behind the plate for the 34-year-old from Brunswick, Georgia, Adam Wainwright. Will Myers in a modest 6-game hitting streak. 11 hits in the 6 games, a .357 clip. And he hits that one deep to right center field. A long way and gone. Touch 'em all. Myers with his 4th home run of the season, and the Padres on the board 1-0 here in the 1st inning.
You've got the look. You've got the look, Will Myers. And what did I just say about first pitch fastballs recently off Adam Wainwright? Look at, get the hands in. That kid is some kind of strong, folks. He doesn't even get extended. He gets the hands in, the fat part of the bat, and Adam Wainwright, he's having a flashback right now. Last time out, 10 hits, 6 were on the first pitch. 4 of the 5 doubles he gave up last time out were on the first pitch. Will Myers hacking on the first pitch and going yard.
That brings up Kemp, and he's swinging at the first pitch.
That ball was crushed, Professor.
It really was. And into the San Diego Beach area. That's where Mark Sweeney was camped out last night. Breaking ball, 1-1.
How about Will Myers going to the opposite field with some authority?
Pulls within 1 home run of the club lead. That's owned by Kemp with 5. Off the head of the bat, foul. .413 feet they measured that home run.
He's a happy customer. Boy, life is good. San Diego deck out there, having a social sparkler and going home with a Will Myers home run ball.
That's a good night in the big leagues.
And it's still early.
2-2 the count. The Padres, when they score first, good news for San Diego fans. Up the middle and caught by Wong. The second baseman drifting behind the bag to make that play. Wasn't really hit hard. Soft liner, and Wong takes care of it.
You know, we talk about first steps for an infielder and outfielder. How about reading the ball off the bat and then timing your leap just perfectly? This is a jam shot, and he leaps just at the last second, times it perfectly. It's a nice play.
The man from Hilo in Hawaii making that play. So 2 outs to Melvin Upton. He too swinging at the first pitch.
Yep, little cut fastball there away.
The last 13 games, Upton raising his average up to .288. Grounds that one softly into the shift. That's Tejada's throw in time for the out. But the Padres, when they score first, they're 4-0 this year, and Will Myers has given early hope with a long home run to right center. Myers with an early blast and a 1-0 lead for the Padres as we take a look at the keys to the game tonight. Brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Hey, jump on the fastball early. I think Will Myers had a little bug in his ear and he was listening. Anyway, don't let Yadier beat you. He's swinging a hot bat and giving the numbers for the Cardinal catcher, and he's leading off right here.
Another look at the home run swing of Myers.
You know, the amazing thing, Dick, hardly any vibration on that bat. Why? Because he hits it on the sweet spot, but he got his hands in towards that jersey to enable himself to get that fat part of the bat on the baseball. Very, very impressive at bat by Will.
Molina works the count to 2-0. Now 33 years of age, this Puerto Rican star, 7-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove winner, 2-1 the count. And they also have a Platinum Glove. That's a new award the last 4 or 5 years, which goes to the best defensive player regardless of position in baseball. Molina's won it 3 times. Check swing and watch out. Lots of honors to this talented athlete. 13th season, 8 Gold Gloves, 7 All-Star, 2-time World Series, got those rings, 2013 Silver Slugger, and maybe the best of all is that Platinum Glove award.
And think about this as well. This is one factor I've always considered regarding good catchers in St. Louis. Try playing 130 plus games or so in that heat and humidity in St. Louis in Dragon. I mean, Mike Matheny knows all about that.
You bet.
And then you got to swing the shillelagh. Then you got to go strap on the gear and call a game.
You had an interesting conversation with Mark Sweeney in Padres Live, the pregame show, about whether or not Molina has Cooperstown Hall of Fame credentials. And you know, my feeling has always been, if you're the best player at your position in your generation, that would check a big box. Ground ball, shortstop Ramirez in between on the hop and makes the play. And a name came up, but you brought it up, and it's worth expressing now. Ted Simmons, Cardinal catcher.
And you make a good point, Dick, being the best during your generation. Well, if you were to ask baseball people who was the top of his game, the top catcher when Ted Simmons was a Cardinal, and who was it?
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench. So he got all the love, right? Ted Simmons was a switch hitting catcher, played 21 years, 2,472 hits. He batted .285. He drove in 1,389 runs. He hit 306 times.
And isn't in the Hall of Fame.
And he hit 20 home runs as a Cardinal 5 times when 20 home runs was legit 20 home runs. The guy has tremendous credentials. Ted Simmons. I'm going to campaign right here. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
That ball hit hard and high and to the wall, and Kemp has just enough room. Kelton Wong flirts with a tying home run. Not to leave that thought, but if you compare Ted Simmons' numbers with Molina's, or how about with Piazza going in this year?
More of an offensive, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes you get overlooked. Gil Hodges, of course, his time has passed, and somehow or another he was never elected. Hey, it's tough to get in.
Yeah, sure is.
But Simba, as they called him, Ted Simmons.
Hey, even after the ground ball to short, Yadier Molina giving some 4-1-1 to Tejada before he goes up to the dish to face Andrew Kashner.
Tejada back in the lineup. He's had just a couple of at-bats. He missed much of spring training and the first couple of weeks of the season with a quad injury.
One more little nugget to sew up the Ted Simmons campaign for Hall of Fame. Against righties, he hit 287. Against lefties, he hit 281. And he had more walks than strikeouts from both sides of the plate.
Switch hitting catcher. Ground ball past third. Ramirez bobbles. Now the long throw in time. Tejada not at full speed, as you could see, with that quad injury, and that allowed the bobble by Ramirez, and still gets the out. New member to our Fox Sports San Diego team. We saw her in spring training. Michelle Margot. Michelle.
Thank you so much. Well, as you guys mentioned earlier, one of the biggest challenges of facing this Cardinals team is their catcher, Yadier Molina. You just don't steal on him. And as Andy Green put it, Molina is as alert and as aware as anybody in this game defensively, which makes it very hard to take an extra base on him.
He's the complete package, and then when he hits 345 as well, you really got something. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, there's a mutual admiration society for Yadier throughout baseball. Derek Norris leads off the second. Shift on, only the big first baseman Adams guarding the right side.
Yeah, teams will have a tendency to run 3 times more on other catchers than they will on Yadier Molina. That just goes to show you what kind of arm he has and how effective he is behind the plate.
Just off the plate again, 2-0. As we mentioned in the pregame show, Derek Norris's last start 2 games ago. 2 hits and 2 line drive outs to short. Swing and a drive to right center. Piscotty a long run and makes the catch going away. He stings it again, Derek Norris, but for a long out.
Well, we talked earlier about one of the nuggets for the scouting report was first pitch hacking against Adam Wainwright. Look at these numbers. This season, when hitters are hacking on the first pitch, 722, 7 doubles, a home run, and they've driven in 6.
So you know every team in their scouting report has that exact information, and that's what you're seeing from the Padres tonight. They're going after that first pitch. Let's see about Ramirez. He's swinging too, and not finding on a pitch right down the middle. Acting as if that back little pinch there on that swing. Andy Green's Padres are 6-10 at the start.
You could see the watchful eye of Andy Green. He's kind of pacing a little bit, maybe thinking with the body language of Alexei and Paulie Navarro on the left, assistant trainer. Stay tuned. ...
Padres have a new all-purpose player that's come up from El Paso, Jose Perella. He's in uniform tonight. Outside 2-2. And Leonel Campos, who pitched last night, returns to the Chihuahuas in El Paso in that player exchange. Perella can play second base and the outfield. Line drive up the middle and through. Base hit for Ramirez. Just laid the bat on the ball, hit the sweet spot. 1-out single.
Well, time now for our Ram Trucks Tools of the Trade, and we're going to focus on Wainwright, Adam Wainwright, that is leaving the pitches up. Now this is, look at the curveball. It doesn't have that bite, that little hump in it. It stays up in the zone. There's another breaking ball that's flat, catching too much of the zone. Now we know what Adam Wainwright is on his game. It's sharp. It's got a better break to it. It has more hump on it, or more velocity to it. But there's another hanger in the zone. Mechanics are off a little bit, not consistent with the arm slot. Although on the fastball, little couple more ticks on that velocity, but still getting hit around.
That ball is hit deep to right field off the bat of Jamiel Weeks into the corner. Is it fair or foul? It's foul. Oh my, that was close. And maybe the predominant breeze tonight, although not that strong, going toward the corner, might have been just enough to send that one into foul territory.
And when you go down and get a pitch like that from the left side and you pull it down that line, it's going to have a tendency to hook.
See how close it came to kissing that yellow foul pole.
You can see it in front of the yellow. Yep.
Weeks 1 for 6 and being recalled from El Paso. Again, first ball hunting the Padres.
Here's another issue you have to be concerned about when there's a runner on first base. That last pitch, Wainwright buried it inside. Molina was set up inside. A lot of times after the pitch, Molina will sneak behind that left-handed hitter and snap throw down to first base to try to get that runner. So you have to be aware of that. He will throw to any base at any time.
1 out, Ramirez at first. 2 strikes on Weeks. Well, he's been consistent, Everett. He's not giving the pitchers those borderline strikes. Adam Rosales on deck.
Curveball, cutter, fastball away.
To left field. Holiday there near the line for the second out, and back to first goes Ramirez. And it'll bring up Rosales. Wainwright was drafted originally out of high school by the Atlanta Braves in the first round back in 2000, then was traded 3 years later from Atlanta to St. Louis with Jason Marquis in the deal that sent J.D. Drew to the Braves and outfielder Eli Marrero. So Cardinals obviously won that trade.
He's paid some serious dividends in a Cardinal uni.
Career mark of 121 wins and only 69 losses, and a career ERA just a bit above 3. A lot of stats for Wainwright. The one that caught my eye was in St. Louis Cardinal history with all their great pitchers. The all-time strikeout leader was Bob Gibson. He's second. Wainwright.
Wow. You know what? I probably would have lost that bet. That's a good little nugget.
That's just his endurance, his stuff. Ground ball at the shortstop. Easy play there for Tejada, and the Padres are gone in the second. We move on. San Diego 1-0. And welcome back with Michelle Margot and Mark Grant. Dick Enberg, pleased you're with us for the weekend. The Cardinals in town. They've brought a lot of fans with them. And that third base dugout. And Wade Wright leads off the top of the third. Not a bad hitter now. He hits career average nearly 200 with 6 home runs. There you have it. 0 for 5 this year. Good athlete in high school in baseball and football. He was an all-state place kicker. He could boot it through the uprights and was an all-district wide receiver.
And you know what that tells me for the kids out there today watching? Play as many sports as you can. Get out there and knock it around. The soccer ball, the basketball, the football, the baseball. Hey, water polo, swimming.
And can you imagine? That's a sport I can't even imagine trying to play water polo. I mean, tough enough to swim, and then you got to try to stay afloat and actually create defense and try that old rocker arm goal scoring. And that ball hit sharply on one hop to Ramirez. And there's one away.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
All right. With one out, here's the leadoff hitter, Matt Carpenter, flying to left to open the ball game. We talked about Andrew Kastner and Carpenter being teammates for 1 year at TCU. Another teammate, boy, the Horned Frogs were talented. How about Jake Arrieta?
Yeah.
On that club, too.
Very nice.
That's a mean Horned Frog right there.
Yeah, it is.
Another no-hitter for Arrieta, the Cubs.
And you know what? Andrew Kastner's one of those pitchers that's got that no-hit kind of stuff, huh?
Maybe someday, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyson Ross as well. And speaking of Tyson, this is his birthday. Happy 29th. Well, not so happy because he's still on the DL, but 29 years young today, Ross.
Happy birthday, Tyson. Get well soon. We miss you.
Left field hit pretty well. Upton giving ground and twisting and turning to make the catch. Whoa. That was a tough chance as the ball slicing back behind him, and he had to do that 180 to make the play.
Even Melvin is shaking his head. The end result was great. Now this ball is going to be slicing. He turns to his left, back. Oh, NTM, it's a twister. And he makes up the time with the catch, and that's when Andrew Kastner is like, okay, good. Oof. That's 2 outs. Nicely done, Melvin.
He doesn't make that catch. You might have found Carpenter standing on third base. 2 outs. Piscotty on the changeup. No, that's the fastball.
It just took a little off. He's been doing that too, Dick. Good call. 91, 92, up to 96, 97 on that fastball.
Piscotty a bloop single to right, the only Cardinal hit. And he gets the call this time on the corner. Foul tip handled by Norris. 1-2. Hey, did you see where our old buddy Joe Thatcher, the left-handed Dodgers, signed him to a minor league contract?
Good for Joe.
He's still hanging around.
Yeah.
Thatcher.
Hey, when you've got that left-handed delivery that's kind of funky, why not?
Comebacker. Kastner takes care of business. A 1-2-3 inning. Middle of the third. 1-0 Padres. On that struggle bus early. David Price has a 2-0 record, but giving up a lot of runs. Chris Archer, 0-4 start with the Rays. Corey Kluber in Cleveland has lost his 3 decisions with an ERA at 6, and Wainwright also having his trouble getting outs. Nate trails 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the third. Andrew Kastner will start it.
You know, for as quickly as the bad starts for those pitchers, we know that they can turn it around with one start, and who knows how these guys are going to end up when the season ends, because they're definitely proven.
Push bunt, not a bad bunt. Wainwright fields and throws it away. Not far enough away for Kastner to advance. It was backed up by Piscotty. Good bunt, and by the time Wainwright fielded it, he really didn't have much of an angle to throw to his first baseman Adams.
Well, perfectly placed. Look at, he's already starting to take his momentum towards first base on the bunt, the push bunt. Is it going to be Adams? Is it going to be Wainwright? The wild throw. Great hustle by Andrew Kastner. He's the best athlete on the field, and he shows it right there.
So a leadoff base hit for Kastner. Takes us to the top of the order, and John Jay. Jay grounded right to the bag at first base for an unassisted put out by Matt Adams. Carpenter at third, creeping in as if he's expecting a bunt.
Hey, we've seen bad flips on home runs. How about the bad flip on the push bunt? He's just getting it out of the way so nobody trips on it. But Andrew Kastner showing what he can do. Very nice.
Who says horned frogs can't run?
Yeah.
Huh? Well, I know one that could run, LaDainian Tomlinson.
There you go.
Hitting .287 in his career with the Cardinals. He's hitting .281 so far as a Padre.
Looks like a curveball right here.
And it is, hangs high. Wainwright against the Padres has enjoyed top success. He's 6-2. ERA 1.74. That gives up the home run to Myers in the first so far. And that's now 3-1, the J. And Myers waits his turn on deck. Right side, Adams deflects it into right center. Not allow Kastner to go to third. Runners at the corners with no one out here in the third. Wong was going to field the ball and might have had a play with the pitcher covering, but Adams diving and right off the tip of that big glove into shallow right center for first and third.
Well, as soon as this ball was off the glove, and as you mentioned, Dick, Wong going that way, he's going to stop. Andrew Kastner, flash look behind him. Watch Andrew. He kind of looks, and then he turns it on again to take that 90 feet. Flash look, got to go. Oh, he can motor. He can motor.
So a chance to build on the 1-0 lead here in the third. No one out. Will Myers, home run to right center. Chance to build his RBI count. And a swing and a miss. Pitch well out of the strike zone.
He got his hands in. He got on top of the ball that was up in the zone. Excuse me, sir, but there's a baseball in my IPA.
Infield back up the middle. They'll concede a run for a chance to a double play. Carpenter is bag high at third. He could come to the plate. 1-1. Myers now with the 7-game hitting streak. center field. Piscotty's going to catch it, but that'll bring in another run as Cashner can walk in. We got to hurry back to first base, and just back is Jay. I don't think Wong realized that Jay was already to second base when the catch was made by Piscotty. So it's 2-0 as Myers drives in both runs.
Rounding second. Does he touch second? He does. Retouch. Got to go. Now he's watching. Is it going to be close? No, he slides just to play it safe.
So the home run to right center and a sac fly in the same direction for Myers. So 1 out to Matt Kemp. Soft line out to the second baseman Wong his first time. Shallow and right. Piscotty with the catch and the second out. Well, how about our San Diego fans of the game?
You know, something the Padres do so well is having the Make-A-Wish kids come and watch batting practice, and Andy Green and the rest of the Padres making their day, saying hello, shaking some hands, sharing some smiles, and going home with some autographs.
Yeah, well done, Padres. San Diego fans of the game. So 2 outs to Melvin Upton. Grounded to short his first at bat. So far, it's the Will Myers show.
Yeah. Good at bat, getting something hard to the outfield. Easily scoring Andrew Cashner on the sac fly.
Bunt base hit to lead off the inning pays off with a run.
Well, that last curveball we saw, it had some serious bite to it, but it was a ball. Then he counters with a slider. Pretty good pitch. Sharing some notes, Will Myers with Andrew Cashner.
Fouled at the plate. 1-2. A reminder, tomorrow it's a 5:40 start, so it'll be 5 o'clock for Padres Live, the pregame show here on Fox Sports San Diego. Padres have not yet announced who will be the starting pitcher. That was going to be Robbie Erlin's night. Outside, Michael Wacha will start for St. Louis. And don't forget that handsome Tyson jersey tomorrow night. To all fans in attendance on baseball night in San Diego. Well, I guess now they have announced it'll be Cesar Vargas, just called up from El Paso, will be the pitcher. Wainwright on the 1-3 comebacker. Padres had a run, a bunt, a single, and a sac fly. 2-0. For great moments in MLB history, brought to you by Geico. 1998 was the year. The number was 25, and it was worn by the Cardinals' Mark McGwire as he set the single-season home run record with 70 home runs. Of course, Mark McGwire, now the bench coach, aide-de-camp of Andy Green.
I think one of the better pickups for the Padres when we talk about acquisitions, players, but how about the bench coach for the Padres, Mark McGwire?
As Mark Sweeney joins us here in our Fox Sports San Diego booth. Out there in the right center in the San Diego beach, he had all that good time with all his fans. Now he's up with these two mooks up here.
Yeah, I wiped off the sunscreen last night. Beautiful. The perch was beautiful out there last night.
Good job. Yeah.
But how about the home run off of Dan Maselli by the bench coach, Mark McGwire? Dan Maselli, one of those relievers we relied on in '98. He had a great year, Mark McGwire did, and putting up all of those home runs. Magical moments for the whole game of baseball, he and Sammy Sosa.
Matt Holliday, the left fielder, starts here in the fourth. Bounces one to Ramirez. He's had a busy night and takes care of that. That's the fourth assist already for Alexei Ramirez at shortstop.
I look at Alexei Ramirez and see how smooth he is. Even on a bad hop, he's got those soft hands to where he just makes a bad hop look easy.
So one away to Matt Adams, struck out swinging, a key strikeout for Cashner, his only punch out, but it came with men at first and second and only one out in the first inning. And then he got Grichuk to ground out and out of trouble, no run score. With the shift on, only Ramirez on the left side, and you saw Cashner break sharply toward the foul line to try to help out. Weeks out in shallow right. Well, there's still some mumbling in the background in baseball about the use of the shift and how it's just gone viral.
It really has.
That maybe they should think seriously about having to position two infielders on the left side and the right. You can cheat right to the bag, but you've got to have two men on each side of second base.
I would totally disagree with that.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, you have to look for advantages, and this is an advantage defensively. But I think the adjustment has to come from the offensive side. You have to be able to handle the barrel of the bat.
Strike three looking. Adams takes the long walk for the second time.
You know, if you're a home run hitter, you're paid to hit the ball out of the ballpark. If you have to handle the bat, you have to be able to get good two-strike hitting, and Adams takes it looking in that framing job by Derek Norris. Nice job.
Tremendous movement out of the hand of Andrew Cashner on that two-seam fastball. My goodness.
You know, Mud, we had the series, his last start in Arizona, and you saw the highlights of it, that two-seam success that he had, especially against those left-handers.
High deep drive, left center field off the bat of Grichuk to the wall and gone. Well, that ends a string of 10 straight outs by the Cardinals as Grichuk circles the bases, his third of the year. It's 2-1.
We talked about the Padres first pitch hunting off of Adam Wainwright. This was a first pitch, looked like a breaking ball. Oh, he was on it too. As Mark Sweeney always mentions, the big key getting that front foot down speeds up his bat. There was a hanging breaking ball, and he hit it right to the Cardinal bullpen.
432 feet they measure it. That was a no-doubter. 1-1 now to Molina.
Now it's all about rebounding, especially with 2 outs. Make a good pitch, leave it at 1.
Change up, 2-1.
Yeah, back-to-back change-ups for Andrew Cashner, giving Molina a different look. He likes to get that fastball, stay inside the baseball. That's the reason why defensively you see John Jay on the right side of second base and Matt Kemp playing a little more towards the line.
on the edge again.
Here's defensive shift. Even in the outfield, you see John Jay shading over even a little bit more with a 2-strike count. He's going to have to get another bat.
There's one of your idols, Mark Sweeney. I mean, at least the jersey part.
Yeah, Ozzie Smith, what an incredible shortstop. Taught me a lot about the game, too. Not only just preparation, but what you had to do on and off the field, how you treated fans. It was, I was in the classroom every single day. He wasn't playing. Royce Clayton was the shortstop. And every single night that he didn't play, I was right next to him, listening to him, and his knowledge of what he had to do. Obviously, he was a spectacular shortstop throughout his career. The Hall of Famer, one of the best shortstop, if not the best shortstop, arguably in the game of baseball.
Pulled to deep third. Rosales with a long throw and a clothesline across to Myers for the out. Grichuk with a home run. It's a 2-1 Padre lead.
The Padres lead 2-1 against the St. Louis Cardinals heading into bottom of the fourth. Well, third baseman for the Cardinals, Matt Carpenter and Andrew Kashner, are quite familiar with each other because they played college ball together at TCU. And when I asked Carp about their friendship, he said it's sort of an unwritten rule not to hang out during the series when they play together. But last time he faced Cash, he said he didn't do so hot. So he texted Kashner after the game and said, "Thanks for not giving me a pitch to hit." So a little friendly competition between the two of them tonight, guys.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And you can see Carpenter did a little pitching there at TCU as well.
I want to see a picture of Mark Sweeney as a black bear.
Oh, no, you don't.
Back in the day. University of Maine.
I can't wait to see that because you know they're just diving in.
Lots of salad in those days, huh?
No, not lots of salad, but it was. I was working on my bald head. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Derek Norris leading off the fourth, 2-1 Padres. And he hits one to left field. Is it deep enough? No. To the warning path goes Holiday. And there's one away. That's a couple of long outs now for Norris. He sent right fielder Piscotty to the warning track in his first at bat.
I actually want to go back and see your younger pictures, younger days.
I could probably dig something up and bring them in to have people take a look.
Yeah, I'm almost qualifying here. You know, I'm getting closer to you guys. I mean, when I get through puberty, I'm going to just I'm going to go right to this style. You know,
my favorite picture of you going back in the day, Dick, is the one when you're coaching at San Fernando Valley State. You're on one knee. Yeah. You got the bat rack in the background. That's Shoot Rock Fire.
That's a pretty good pose you had working.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, I must admit. I loved wearing the uniform. The Matadors. Alexei Ramirez singled up the middle his first time.
How about your favorite Matador moment? You got to have one.
I don't know. I guess it was only because of recent history. High fly ball right field, easy chance for Piscotty because of Andy Green getting the heave ho the first time I got thrown out. Now I could identify it. It took me all the way back to the first time that I got so upset that all of a sudden I'm out there and I'm going crazy and I don't, you know, you really, something snaps and you act like, even the kids that I was coaching couldn't believe that.
Did you throw your hat down?
I probably threw everything down.
Do you remember what the call was?
There's a play at second base. The guy missed it by 20 feet.
Did you challenge it?
Yeah, right. We went to black and white radio. And yes, boys and girls, we're going back in the 1960s. Jamal Weeks just missed a home run his first time up, just outside the right field foul pole.
Obviously, it wasn't reviewable.
That's right. Mark, we saw a lot of Jamal Weeks in spring training. What was the couple of things that you liked about him?
What I liked about Jamal is he was very aggressive swinging, and you get that in spring training, especially when you're trying to make a ball club. But you saw that early.
There's a base hit to left field. Shoots a line drive. Fourth Padre hit of the night. 2-out single will bring up Adam Rosales.
Well, his first at bat, you saw him being aggressive early in the count, and this one going the other way. He pulled the baseball early in his first at bat, then going the other way, showing Adam Wainwright, the veteran righty, you can't throw that ball out there. That's a very comfortable spot for him.
Up on the handle of the bat a little bit, a good controlled swing. Good base runner. As Rosales steps in, he grounded to short his first time. Highlight home run on this homestand. Nearly to the roof of the Western Metal Supply Company building for Rosales.
He just dug in with that left foot at first base.
Now, guys, also, we've already talked about Yadier Molina, and I heard you mentioning it early in the broadcast, the difference maker. And now, as a base runner for the Padres, be very aggressive. You still have to take that secondary lead, hard step back, because if you start anticipating that, you can go station to station. He's very good, but he's good with his glove work, as you saw in that last pitch. But you have to be aware, you still have to take that extra base. It might not be a stolen base tonight. You might have to take those opportunities. But you can still advance a base in certain situations, and you're going to have to look for that if you're the Padre runners.
Hit well to right center field. Piscotty, will he get this one? No, that's going all the way to the wall. And streaking around third as Weeks waved home by Hoffman, and it's 3-1. So the number 7 and 8 hitters in Andy Green's lineup collaborate. A single Weeks and an RBI double Rosales for a 3-1 lead.
These Padre hitters, and you see on our Phantom Cam going the other way, letting that ball travel just a little bit is Rosales on that 1-1 pitch. That's a beautiful swing in the gap. Piscotty can't get there. But you see Jamal Weeks, this is the read, and watch him read this. He sees it in the gap, takes off early. He knows Piscotty cannot make that play, and scoring easily. Picking him up and putting down with the help of Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach. Nice work by the Padres.
Hey, we need to get him a smaller size helmet. I mean, he had to reach up and hold that thing on. He was running from beneath it a couple of times. So that gets the pitcher's spot out of the way as Cashner comes up with 2 outs. And Rosales at second. Cashner's bunt single led to a run, the second run against Wainwright in the third. He's thinking about bunting his way on again.
I was just going to say, Adam Wainwright, don't shut your toolbox with 2 outs and Andrew Cashner up there. He's got a lot of tricks in that bag. Swing away, he can use the whole field. He can choke up, play a little pepper, try to shoot it to the right side, and of course, try to lay down the bunt again.
Ooh, that big hook drops into the strike zone. It's a knee buckler.
Pitches are up. Got to be careful. He can hurt you.
And the chase is there. Ball in the dirt. And the putout made at first base 2-3. But the Padres with 2 outs get a single from Weeks and an RBI double from third baseman Adam Rosales. And they get the run back, lead 3-1.
Well, Andrew Cashner, we talk about the breaking ball, right? Particularly the slider. Because against the Dodgers, he hung one to Maeda. That was the home run. And now we flash forward to tonight. This breaking ball here just caught too much of the zone. It speeds up the bat of the Cardinal center fielder. And he put it in the bullpen. So, you know, it's all about making adjustments. And after that, he shut him down. And he's got himself a 3-1 lead.
That was a big league home run, not only in the bullpen, but over the Padres pen and into the Cardinal pen, which is beyond the San Diego working area.
So heavy on the fastball tonight. Coming in showing as the slider, and place is the slider, and show is the changeup.
Kelton Wong leads off the 5th for the Cardinals. Then it'll be Ruben Tejada and the pitcher Wainwright. One and one. Wong claims as he grew up in Hawaii and learning to play this game that he'd go out in the summers and chop wood for a couple hours with an axe to kind of build up that strength.
You know what that makes him, right? A wood chopper.
And you know a wood chopper would if he could. And he hatchets that one. A sharp single to right field. That was a changeup. And the leadoff man is on. He showed what he had last year as a rookie and finished 3rd for the National League Rookie of the Year award. Well, we've got the right guys in the booth here to describe our Cholula flamethrower 96.
Mark Sweeney?
That is hot sauce.
Come on, you gotta get some heart into it.
Are you kidding me? You say it.
That's hot sauce. 96, yo, on the fastball.
Calling the game for the fans down below our booth.
They even agreed with me.
They did agree with you. 96, that is hot.
That lady just looked up, winked at you, Mark Sweeney, said, you know where I can get a fish taco?
You know I love my fish tacos.
Oh, you think?
Ruben Tejada grounded to short his first time.
But it's not just the hot sauce at 96. It's with movement.
It's with movement.
It's unbelievable. Mark, we talk about it all the time, but free and easy gas from Andrew Cashner.
Well, it looks like the hot sauce is boiling there in the taco shop.
Yeah, the tacos are street tacos.
Oops, that's not good. So a single and a hit batsman, Tejada. And that puts the tying run on board with no one out.
Well, Wainwright for the Cardinals, Cashner for the Padres. 4 frames. The hits, fewer for Cashner. It's maintaining that 3-1 lead, but the one thing that sticks out, hey, these guys are throwing strikes, no free passes. And you know what also, guys? Both teams avoiding the strikeout.
Well, you've seen aggressive hitting, obviously on both sides, but also trying to work the count for Andrew Cashner. And you're thinking about in this situation with Adam Wainwright with the struggles trying to get that ERA down, but also offensively helping himself out.
Look at him work!
Tried to make the catch on the fly, and that was a very difficult play. And Cashner still gets the out while Wainwright successfully moves the runners into scoring position.
Well, watch Andrew Cashner get off the mound, and he has to slide, which really comes into the thought. I thought he had an opportunity to get him at third base, but taking the out at first base and athletically making a really nice play. This can go wrong if you turn around and don't get that out at third base. This could be a really scary inning. And you watch this as Wainwright pops it up. You have to hold as a runner.
Oh, yeah.
And then Wong ends up cruising into third base as Andrew Cashner gets that out.
Yeah, he had it easily, but it was such a difficult play for him just to get to the ball. That ball checking up on the bunt. So runners at second and third. Leadoff hitter Matt Carpenter. Carpenter has flied twice to left. The last time he sent Upton a step from the left field boards at that Qualcomm sign. Tough with men in scoring position, and he's got 2 out there now that would tie it.
Well, you see Matt Carpenter being very patient. He's first in pitches per at bat in 2014, 4.37 times. So very patient at the plate. He'll take his pitches, but also looking for something that he's going to do damage with. He also has power in that bat.
And a couple of years ago, he walked nearly 100 times.
Leadoff hitters, they want to get on, they want to score runs.
You know, another thing I noticed about Carpenter, as Andrew Cashner throws a dandy of a changeup, he's down below the knob of the bat. I mean, for a leadoff guy, you think he'd be at the knob or maybe up a little bit for bat control. He's actually hiding that knob of the bat under his pinky of his right hand.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys do that to relax their hands just a little bit. You see them wiggling those fingers, trying to be loose, so it's a little bit whippy with the bat. But a lot of these Cardinal hitters, and you'll see some guys that have to handle the barrel of the bat, they will choke up with 2 strikes.
Carpenter in the driver's seat here, 3-1. Second and third. And Piscotty to follow. Loop foul.
You know, guys, talking about bat control, saw an interesting stat this week. This is the 9th straight year that the strikeout rate has gone up. The 9th straight year. You see a lot of strikeouts in the game. Yes, they are outs no matter what side you rely on that. But if you see Matt Carpenter, a leadoff guy, all of the guys that don't hit the ball out of the ballpark, they really should know how to handle the barrel of the bat.
I think you could lean towards these relievers. Nobody throws below 95 anymore.
Yeah.
Right? They're all throwing gas. That's a good point about Carpenter.
Strike 3 called, and he knew it. Big strikeout for Andrew Cashner. 2 away.
Well, I think if you go back to this at bat and you saw the changeup for Andrew Cashner, this is what set up this situation. The changeup on the outside part of the plate, then putting him away with the 96-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part. That was beautiful pitching by the right-hander.
So 2 outs to Stephen Piscotty, who looped a single to right and was out on a comebacker the last time. Ground ball, right side. Weeks is there, and the inning comes to an end. Good work by Andrew Cashner. Pitches out of second and third with 1 out, and the Padres remain 3-1 ahead. Padres 3-1. Here's our Harrah's game summary. Will Myers in the first inning gave the Padres an early 1-0 lead. He deposits that home run 413 feet away, and better than that in terms of distance, the home run by Randall Grichuk, 432 feet. Cashner then pitches out of trouble in the last inning, second and third, striking out Carpenter and getting Piscotty to roll out to second. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Jay Myers Kemp against Adam Wainwright. Jay is grounded out and singled off the glove of first baseman Adams the last time. Well, Cashner's hit a couple of Cardinals tonight. That one crowds Jay. Padres 3 runs, 6 hits. They've left 3. Cardinals 1 run, 3 hits, and have stranded 4.
I think Andrew's talking more offense on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Swinging the bat and trying to score some runs and technique rather than pitching.
Saw fly ball, foul territory. Tough play, but there to make the catch is Carpenter. 1 away. And tonight's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Adam Wainwright, the subject of our Cold Hard Facts tonight. Major League leaders, active pitchers, lowest career ERA, second only to Clayton Kershaw at 3.04. Hernandez, Hamels, and Greinke. That's quite a list.
Interesting stat tonight, too. The Cardinals have given up 2 home runs on the road this year, both by Adam Wainwright, and one of those, Will Myers, in the first.
Myers knocking in 2 runs in his 2 at-bats, the home run in the first, and a deep sacrifice fly to right in the third. Runs his RBI count to 8 on the year. The only Padre in double figures in that column is Matt Kemp with 13. Breaking ball didn't quite catch the corner, says plate umpire Everett.
Now, when Adam Wainwright is on, and you know this, Mark, too, he is spinning that very well. He knows when he's throwing it for a ball on purpose, but also for a strike on purpose. And you see that consistency with that pitch is not there.
Inside, 3-0.
And as a pitcher, if that's not the case, you got to come up with some other pitch. And I think, guys, that cutter, because we just saw a cutter thrown to John Jay, it looked like got in his kitchen a little bit, popped him up. Foul territory.
And that's a high strike.
This is the first 3-ball count tonight for the right-hander for St. Louis. It was John Jay, even though he popped up out of play, he's still top step, checking him out.
Ground ball up the middle and by the dive of Tejada. Myers is 2 for 2.
Mark Sweeney, Will Myers is having a nice night in the box in the big leagues.
Yeah, you see on our Phantom Cam, he is staying very compact with that swing, especially to the baseball and with the contact through the baseball. You see the vibration not on the barrel of the bat, but the swing is there, mechanically looking very comfortable. And you see that right foot of his, that's not rotating on the ball of it, it's staying down, that's his leverage. And you don't want to think of him mechanically when it comes to that. You know, an ex-Padre, Xavier Nady, used to do that as well with a lot of power.
So 1-out single for Myers brings up Matt Kemp. A soft liner to second and a fly ball to right. And the breaking ball top of the zone doesn't get the call. High fly ball slicing into foul territory, a long run, but there's Wong to make the play. 2 out.
Well, if we go back to Will Myers and his swing, and we focus on that right foot, the back foot, you can see just rotating, and it's not on the ball of the foot, but you can see the compact, and he sets it right back down. A lot of people, when they rotate on that back foot, end up on the ball of the foot, which helps their balance. Will Myers does it different ways, but a lot of talent, and he's swinging the bat very well right now.
Melvin Upton, a couple of groundouts tonight, hitting in the cleanup hole. Follow the pitch on Fox Tracks, brought to you by Southland Technology.
You know, it's worth mentioning again, guys. We know the personality of Will Myers, right? He's a social butterfly. He likes to talk. Well, this is in the mind of Molina and the Cardinals. He might throw behind the runner to get too big of a secondary lead, and Molina might snap throw down to first base. You have to be quick to the bag back, like you said, Mark, after your secondary lead.
Well, that shift daring Upton to go the opposite field. 1-1.
No, Mark, one of our favorite guys, as we see the shift and that right center gap also available. But Larry Bowa is one of our favorite guys. Larry Bowa was our bench coach in Los Angeles, and we played against the Cardinals and said, "You owe me $100 if you get picked off at any base."
Ground ball pulled right to the throw. Oh, he bobbles the ball. Carpenter picks it up, throws, not in time. Well, a rare error by veteran Matt Carpenter at third.
Right on the heel of the glove. That's a good old-fashioned boot, and it happens to the best of them. But the key here is now the Padres have to take advantage of it. He was set up correctly. They let the ball come to him. He just cranked it. Happens to everybody. Now the Padres got to come up with a 2-out knock here.
Myers to second, and Upton safe on the boot. 2 outs to Derek Norris. He's hit the ball hard and long twice for outs to the warning track and right and to the warning path and left. Nothing to show for 2 good swings. Strike one. Our game, folks, presented in HD by Sony.
We see center field, Randall Grichuk playing a shallow center field.
The corner outfielders 3 or 4 steps deeper. Rip foul. He's taken some good swings here the last couple of games.
Yeah, and that's that hanging breaking ball that you definitely want to capitalize. And I love that Derek Norris taking a really nice hack at this. It's just a slow breaking ball, even though it's elevated, just catches you out front just a little bit. That's the reason why it's a foul ball. But he is, to your point, Dick, he is swinging the bat much better on a consistent basis.
But in the hole now, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, a 2-run lead for the Padres. Inside.
You know, something else, guys, that surprised me before tonight's game. There were 3 teams tied with 15 errors in the National League, the Cardinals being one of them. That's something you don't see too often. That was their 16th miscue of the year.
Well, that drives manager Mike Matheny crazy. He believes in the fundamentals, and they are driven in just like they are here.
Got a good pitch there, Norris. Right, belt high down the middle. It remains 1-2, and Wainwright about to deliver his 75th pitch of the game.
If Derek got that one off the toe or the ankle or the shin. He's taking a leisurely walk around home plate.
Oh. Does have that protective device on the ankle, but you still feel that one. Myers with a single at second. Upton safe at first on the air by Carpenter. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball away. Only the 2nd strikeout for Adam Wainwright tonight. The Padres leave 2. And welcome back to beautiful Petco Park. First of a 3-game weekend series with the Redbirds from St. Lou in town. Pleased you're with us. The Padres with a 3-1 lead as we advance to the top of the 6th inning. Andrew Cashner has allowed only 3 hits. The only St. Louis run, a home run by Randall Grichuk. Oh, look at that full moon tonight.
It's a big piece of cheese.
Limburger.
Matt Holliday leads off the 6th. Way outside from Andrew Cashner. Holliday hit by a pitch and grounded to short tonight. Matt Adams and Randall Grichuk to follow.
Done some howling at the moon on occasion in the past.
You have?
I think we all have.
Never. Time now for the Quicken Loans Rockets Arms.
Oh, you got that right. Number of pitches, 95 mile an hour or above, 11 for the Conroe Comet.
Yeah, and I think the changeup has really been a compliment to those fastballs.
There's one right there.
2-1.
Rocking the fedoras.
A couple of vintage fedoras. Padres.
I've been known to rock some fedoras, right?
Shaka, dude. Love it. We're going to get you in some hats this year.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
So no pocket squares, no hats?
I mean, I should wear a hat all the time, obviously.
I saw you in a pocket square on Sunday last Sunday. Very nice.
Military Sunday.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Digital blue camo pocket square.
Very nice.
Foul tip.
You know I'm not a pocket square guy.
I know,
this,
but
this is a good look.
But you know, Don Orsillo said the same thing. But I saw that he had a pocket square as well.
He did.
Doing a good job. What a good addition to our club, huh?
Listen, we love our group. Yeah. Honestly, we have a lot of fun, as
Great
you know,
group.
and it's a great ad.
You know what my favorite part of the day is? I mean, I love, of course, doing games and being. There's Donatello
doing the radio tonight.
Yeah, the Dontourage.
No pocket square tonight for him. Obviously, it's casual Friday.
I love when we have our group meeting in the dining room and we've got that whole table of about maybe 10 or 12 of us. And we're talking about the game, getting prepared, and just having fun with the troops.
It's a good group.
Having some yucks.
A lot of play. It stays full.
A lot of chuckles.
Yeah, and you know what? I judge it all the time. If your cheeks hurt after a meeting, you had a good meeting.
Well, how can you possibly not have your cheeks, your ribs, and everything hurting working with that guy Pomerantz?
Well, Pomerantz.
He's funny on funny.
He is.
He's the best.
Got a lot of good imitations that we really haven't put on air.
No,
but man, is it? It's really special.
Leadoff walk. Holliday worked hard to get that ball 4, and he's hit a couple of batters. That's his first walk tonight.
Well, against Matt Adams, the changeup was really an important pitch. There's a 2-seamer to finish him off. A nice sequence of pitches for Andrew Cashner. And Mark, I wanted to ask you as a hitter, you know, that was not a bad sequence of pitches to Matt Holliday. How in the world does a hitter lay off a changeup like that? That splits. It's going to be a little low, but my goodness, that's got to be tough as a hitter to lay off a pitch like that.
Well, most times they lay off is because they were looking for something else.
Shift is on, but Weeks has to stay on the infield.
Yeah, and that actually looked like the same pitch to Matt Holliday right there. Matt Holliday, the right-handed hitter. Matt Adams, the left-handed hitter. It's the same pitch thrown.
Pulled foul. Myers looking for a young fan to toss that souvenir. Apparently an adult reached over and got it, and you hear the fans booing. He'll be pressured into giving it to a youngster,
and
as well it should be. Yes.
Exactly right. Give it to the kid.
2 strikes. Cashner ahead on the count. He struck out Adams both times tonight. Out of play.
Yeah, different looks, and you see him changing the eye level with that fastball. He's seen a 2-seamer, Also the changeup, the curveball, and now giving that high fastball as we see the pitch count by inning. 84 tosses to Andrew Cashner's night so far.
First inning was the toughest, 21 pitches, because he had a couple of base runners. Had to strike out Adams and got Grichuk to ground out.
See if he goes to that changeup or the fastball away.
Fastball at 94. 85 tosses for Cashner. Looking for his first win since last September. Get in that W column.
Trying to go in with a fastball right here.
Misses high and away.
You know, sometimes Derek Norris gave that fastball in. Okay, set up inside, it was up and away. Kind of. Sometimes pitchers are a little bit too quick out in front, and that release point doesn't get out in front. It leaks. Thank goodness that kind of leaked out of the zone a little bit rather than the heart of the plate.
Line to left field, Upton to the line, and makes the running catch. Good break by Upton. He was off with a crack of the bat.
Yeah, to your point, Dick, I thought that was what the big thing was. That first step was very important for Melvin.
MLB is in full swing, guys, and tomorrow David Ortiz of the Red Sox looks to continue the blistering start of his final season as a Red Sox. Sox going to battle the Astros at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on FS1 or watch live on Fox Sports Go. Get your baseball fix right here on Fox.
There's the Astros, Jose Altuve. Can that young guy hit? Ooh, man. And it's really a doubleheader because you watch the Fox Sports 1 game of the week and then join us at 5 o'clock for Padres Live, the pregame show. Cesar Vargas just called up from El Paso against Michael Wacha in game 2 of this series. Ooh, shattered bat, foul ball.
Did that bat stick in the screen behind home plate?
It finally landed by the warning path. There it is.
Wow. Well, you got to like that if you're Andrew Cashner. That's the home run bat that Randall Grichuk used his last at bat. Now he's got to go to a new one.
Yeah, so how do you counter? It was a breaking ball, a hanger for the home run. He buried it inside and broke that shillelagh.
What's about in today's world, the way these bats are breaking, what's about as long as you can expect a good bat to last? A week?
Well, it's all about it. You just handling the barrel of the bat and not hitting it off the end and not basically fracturing some of these bats. If you use a maple bat, they don't really tell you. They don't indicate that it is broken already. And then that's the reason why you see a lot of them sever off right near the handle area. See Randall Grichuk already using the choked up method.
2 strikes on Grichuk. Bounced to second and hit that long home run into the Cardinal bullpen. But some of the handles today, they're just, you know, when they say toothpick, boy, it's not much there. This looks like a little heavier handle. 1-2. And it was true in the old days. I mean, you're going back a long time, but 152, 154 game season, there were great hitters who used the same bat all year.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't be surprised if the late great Tony Gwynn used the same bat for a long period of time too.
I think I remember Tony telling me that he used one bat for a certain season.
Just missed that outside edge. 2-2.
Well, he's not getting that call down and away, especially with that little two-seamer that he's got working off the edge of the plate.
Number 19, forever remembered. Out of play.
Well, he missed with location there, but it had enough juice on it and movement to where Grichuk could not get on top of it. And it remains 2-2.
Solid season for this 24-year-old. Last year hit 276 with 17 homers. Long stare by Cashner, so Grichuk will step out.
What's he go to here, Mark?
I say keep the fastball away.
Ron Fowler and his wife Alexis. Fowler, the executive chairman of the Padres, enjoying a 3-1 lead for his home side. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The high fastball gets Grichuk. 4 strikeouts for Cashner.
You know, guys, he did want to go fastball away. Derek Norris was set up there, but this ball leaks. But when you throw 95 and above, you know what, out of the hand, that looks like a good old-fashioned heater that you get on top of. Leaks up and out of the zone. The whiff.
Yadier Molina steps up. He is grounded twice to the left side.
Well, that's when Yadier wants to take that hole in between first and second and shoot that first pitch in there. See Andrew Kashner checking on the runner. That Holiday at first, and Yadier Molina likes to use that hole, especially staying inside the baseball. Right in that hole in between first and second.
And he pulls it again to short. Ramirez gets the force at second. And that's it for the Cardinals in the top of the sixth. The Padres will have Ramirez leading off in the bottom. San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the new Padres Club Card today. By Jack in the Box, taste the bacon-licious sourdough bacon ranch combo. And by T-Mobile, get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. Padres come up in the last of the sixth inning with a 3-1 lead. Party night Friday night here at Petco. Started at 5 o'clock with a beer fest. Fans are having a good time again.
Making friends, having a good time, hoping for a Padre victory.
Ramirez leads off the sixth inning. Cutter misses. He's got a single and a fly ball to right tonight. Padres got off to an early start with a 1-0 lead in the first on Will Myers' 4th home run of the year.
Hey, the bottom of the order tonight for San Diego, not doing a bad job. Ramirez, Weeks, Rosales, even Kashner paying dividends and contributing to the 3-1 lead right now.
Yeah, you got to think about the aggressiveness early in the game, and now making Adam Wainwright throw those strikes early as he evens the count 2-2.
Ryan Buchter, lefty, getting ready for the Padres. Kashner is scheduled to hit 4th. Another good outing for Kashner, matching his pitching against and there's that same kind of swing, laying the bat on the ball, goes to the shortstop, and did Adams, yes, maintain control, a foot on the bag for the out. Tejada's throw offline.
Well, here's the play to Tejada, and he throws it on his back foot. That long hop, and Matt Adams doing a nice job the back part of the base and keeping his right foot planted to get that out. Nice defensive play on the back end.
That brings up Jemile Weeks, a line drive single last time, scored a run. Talking about that lower end of the order. Padres made it 2-0 in the third inning. A bunt single for Cashner leading off. Jay singled and Myers sac fly made it 2-0. Grichuk with a home run, 2-1 in the fourth inning. And then the Padres got that run back in a hurry when Weeks singled, and with 2 outs, Rosales doubled the right center to get Weeks home.
Mark, you made a great point earlier, and it's playing during this at bat. You mentioned that Wainwright does not have the feel for that curveball. And there's something that I've learned from you over the years is that it's a pitch that when a pitcher doesn't have that control, you just let it, you spin on it.
Yeah.
You eliminate it, right?
Yeah, you got to eliminate it, especially until 2 strikes.
High strike. 2-2.
And you see the Padre at bats, and they are trying to execute their plan, especially throwing those pitches for Adam Wainwright. See the breaking ball missing, then the cutter missing, getting to 2-0, and then the borderline strike. So they're staying in the strike zone, which is very important.
So 2-1 the count, and inside.
You know, Alan Zinter, the hitting coach for the Padres, stresses stay in the strike zone, look for the middle of the plate, because these type of pitchers work off of you. You see the pitch count tonight. This will be his 85th pitch coming up.
There's Zinter on the right with Eddie Rodriguez. High foul fly. Well, the Dodgers had the lead at Colorado, but we've seen it before. The Rockies come back and take the game 7-5. Pittsburgh has gone on to Arizona, and they're in the late innings with the Pirates outscoring Arizona so far 8-6. Full count on Jamal, and he earns a walk. 1 out. Walk is the first given up by Wainwright tonight, and that brings up Rosales.
And Mike Matheny having discussions with David Bell, the bench coach, and just scripting out the rest of the game and what they see with Adam Wainwright. Obviously struggles coming into this start, and now seeing him have his first walk, that'll give discussions to any manager.
Trying to keep an eye on that Redbird bullpen. Still, jackets are on and comfortable on that bench out there. No movement yet.
Brett Wallace is in the on-deck circle as a runner goes, a hit and run, and they get the tag there. The throw to first, double play. Well, Wong alertly able to field the ball and get to it quickly enough that he could tag the runner. Weeks moving forward and complete the 4-3 double play. On to the 7th here at Petco. The Padres leading 3-1.
Unbelievable. It just shows you, people care, and they want to represent our men and women who serve our country, who go out there and do things that, to make sure that we get to sleep at home in our bed safely. And the fact that you have an organization that takes it, that dedicate so much time and manpower and money and to bring us here and share a moment together is incredible.
Yeah, that's one of our heroes, U.S. Army Captain retired Florence Groberg, Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. He was with us on Sunday, and that's just a reminder to stay tuned after Padres Live, the post-game show. It'll be Padres POV, and you'll hear more from Captain Groberg. Yeah, the barbecue is going full burn tonight as Ryan Buchter comes in for the Padres here in the top of the 7th inning. And Diaz is going to pinch hit for Colton Wong. And the pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
Well, Ryan Buchter, no double switch, straight up. The pitcher spot for the Padres is due up first next inning in the 7th, so there is action in the bullpen. This might be the only guy that Ryan Buchter has to get out tonight. Although Diaz batting from the right side, you got a righty due up and then the pitcher spot, so a righty warming up in the bullpen, possibly for the next hitter. Hey, nice night in the big leagues for Andrew Cashner.
3 hits and 1 run in 6 innings of work. Stands to pick up his first win of the year. 2-1. A-L-E-D-Y-M-S. Aledims Diaz. Look at that average, 385 with a couple of home runs. Another youngster that comes up through the ranks, although delayed. He's a escapee from Cuba and was on the sidelines for a full year before baseball allowed him to join the major leagues. Wong had a single and a long out. Ground ball sharply by Rosales and can't make a play. Ramirez. He got the ball quickly enough and he pumped and apparently didn't have a good grip. Couldn't get the ball out of his hand. So Aledmus Diaz is safe. That's got to be an infield hit.
Yeah, and you know what? When we take a look at this, Alexei gets in the perfect position. He slides, but I guess on the handle, he can't find that handle as he gets into the glove, because I thought he had a chance at him if he fields it cleanly on the transfer.
And that brings the tying run to the plate here in the top of the 7th. Ruben Tejada is grounded out and was hit by a pitch the last time. Look who's on deck. Jed Jerko, the former Padre. Line drive, base hit to right field, just inside the line. Scrambling to third is Diaz on his way to second. Here's the throw, not in time. It gets away, and there comes the runner to the plate. The throw to the plate. They get him. Oh my! What a scramble! And Diaz gambles. He had third with no one out. Thought he could score, and Rosales with a strike to Norris for the out.
Well, at first, when this ball is dumped down in the right field, you're thinking, oh no, here we go. But my goodness, you talk about throwing to the right spot on the side of the base. Matt Kemp the second. Okay, now gets away. Watch Rosales. He was like a little kid in Little League after he made this throw for the out at the plate. He gave him Helene. Derek Norris catches the ball. He tags him on the front shoulder for the out. Hey, at first it looked ugly. The end result, great for San Diego.
That ball, somebody had to stick a fork in it there for a while.
Yep.
Actually, Weeks deflected the ball. He gets an assist on that. It goes 9-4-5-2 on the out. And some boos from the red-clad Cardinal fans down behind third base, and maybe some of those are for directed toward ex-Padre Jed Jerko. As he's introduced with one out, and the Tejada at second base. So give Tejada a double. That would have sent Diaz to third, but Diaz saw that ball bouncing away, thought he could score. Becomes a big out.
You know, Adam Rosales just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. There's the lane created, and Derek Norris gets him on the shoulder before his hand hits the plate. Hey, good slide by Diaz. He did everything he could, but Derek Norris did a nice job. And a perfect strike from Adam Rosales as well.
So Jerko steps up, representing the tying run. One away. High fly ball to right field. Kemp going back and makes the catch. That would have scored Diaz, but he got eliminated on that scrambling play that preceded. So 2 outs. Tejada to third, and Jerko flies out for the second out. The attendance announced 30,000, almost even, 30,074. Friday night fun at Petco. Leadoff hitter Matt Carpenter. Hooker now, lefty against lefty. Well, that play to get Diaz at the plate, you got to work on that a lot in spring training and make that one work.
Hey, isn't it great when you're in the right position at the right time and it goes your way? You should have seen Adam Rosales after that play at the plate. I mean, he was jumping around, pumping his fist like a kid in Little League.
Oh, what was wrong with that pitch? One of what's called a strike. Hard sometimes to see Mike Everett's call because he doesn't use the right hand out to the right where you can see it from straight ahead, and it's blocked from the press box when he makes the call. 0-1. Carpenter is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 fly balls to left and a strikeout. That's just off the plate. 1-1. Andrew Cashner, 6 innings of 1-run, 3-hit ball tonight. Struck out 4. That's back-to-back games. Arizona and then tonight St. Louis going 6 innings, allowing just the 1 run.
I tell you what, I really like Ryan Buchter. He's got that delivery, kind of a crossfire delivery. He hides the ball well, kind of short arms it, and comes right out of the cap and gets that angle down and away to the left-handed hitting Carpenter. Now it's time for the bullpen to seal the deal for that man right there, Andrew Cashner.
Buchter spent all of last year in AAA ball in the Atlanta organization. Came up with Atlanta, pitched in 1 major league game in 2014. Getting an opportunity full-time in the Padre pen this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Buchter pitches out of a couple of leadoff hits, and the big play on the double by Tejada, the scramble. Weeks deflects. Rosales backs up, fires home, no run. It stays 3-1 Padres. While Major League Baseball's global reach seems to be greater than ever for now, Cuba remains one country that's outside its reach. Watch our very special documentary, Cuba, Baseball's Final Frontier. That'll be on Monday, right after the Padres play the San Francisco Giants up in the Bay Area after our live post-game show. It is a beautifully shot and authored documentary series on a fascinating subject, Cuba, baseball, their love, and what's ahead for the major leagues. Jose Pirela, just called up from El Paso, is going to bat for the pitcher, Ryan Buchter. And on the mound is Seth Menes.
And it's his 7th game, a high ERA.
And Pirela drills one to left center field, way back into the wall. And he's around first to second with a ringing double. Didn't take him long to greet Menes. Welcome to the Padres, Major League Baseball, Pirela.
Well, Menes is not a hard thrower, but Pirela goes down and gets this on contact on the front knee. Very aggressive swing, aggressive early in the count as well. And what a good feeling for this kid. Showing some love to the Padre dugout, and just like that, in scoring position with nobody out, it's time for the Friars to add on.
John Jay, a single in 3 trips tonight. Trying to move the runner over, fouls that one away. Pirela's 26 years of age. He was acquired from the Yankees in a swap with a right-handed pitcher, Ronald Herrera, in the offseason. 98 bats in a couple of seasons with the Yankees. Out in front of the plate, that's a fair ball, and Molina gets an easy out at third. He pounced on that. The ball just bounced off the home plate pentagon, and Molina bare hands and throws to third for the easy out on Pirela.
And on that play, not a forced play, so Molina touches it in fair territory. Look at how much time he's got.
Yeah, that's
not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that hurts.
A little bit too aggressive on the base paths right there.
Not a good bunt. So Will Myers with a runner at first and 1 out. Has knocked in 2 of the 3 Padre runs with his 4th home run of the year, a solo in the first and a long sacrifice fly in the third. Good take, 2-0. Well, don't forget, fans, tomorrow night, 5:40 is the game start. 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Get your tickets, still some available. And the nice giveaway, the Tyson Ross jersey. Very nice material. It'll be proudly wearing with a big SD column. Line drive right center field, and Myers has found the gap. Streaking around second to third. And here comes Jay to the plate. He will score on a double by Myers. 4-1 Padres. What a night for Will Myers. Single, double, home run, and sac fly to knock in 3.
Once again, Will Myers is seeing the ball extremely well, put some good swings, comfortable at bats, not over swinging, letting the big boy have his power take over. Wearing out right center field. My goodness, the home run right center. The single in the 5th on the shortstop side of second base, and now wearing out right center again with that double. Some good swings.
What a homestand. He's hitting .419 in the 7 games so far, 13 for 31. So 4-1 as Menes gives up a run. And there goes Myers, the throw to third, and he's safe. Well, you don't dare Molina very often, and Myers took the chance on it. We may have this one challenged. It was very close at third. Just to bring you up to date with 3 for 4 tonight, Myers, as he makes this slide, does he get to the outside? Yeah, it's hard to see from that angle. He is hitting .304 for the season. That's a good call.
I got safe.
I do too. It has been challenged, but from that angle, it does appear that Myers beat a strong throw by Molina.
I tell you what, you talk about bang, bang, but I tell you, great camera work there.
So Myers 3 for 3 tonight. A home run, single, double, and a sac fly.
Great.
And a stolen base.
Yeah, great camera work by John Cipolla. The big Z working his craft, coming up with that last angle that clearly showed Will Myers.
This is the angle they're showing now on the big screen out in left field. And even the Cardinal fans now have to relent as the Padre fans cheer. That's a stolen base. Well, that's the play with 1 out.
And you know what, once again, we sit here, we have it on the big board, clearly safe. And what are they going over? What else do they have to see?
Well, New York has to make their
Okay, here it is again. He's on the bag, right.
Boy, that is close, though.
There. His thumb may be on the bag before his hand. Well, it is close.
Well, there's not enough evidence there to overturn the call.
Right.
I mean, it's bang, bang. Carpenter making the tag on the elbow. It appeared that just after contact by Myers at third base, but the official decision will now be offered from the umpire. Safe is the call. So a chance to get another run on an out to the Padres and extend that lead to 5-1.
Will Myers playing some backyard sandlot ball tonight, hitting the ball all over the park, stealing bases.
They're not going to let Kemp hit an intentional walk, and they'll take their chances with Melvin Upton. Gives us a chance to give you the line on starter Adam Wainwright. 6 innings, 3 runs earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. That 2 strikeouts is kind of the giveaway for Wainwright. So far this year, in his appearances, he has walked more than he has struck out. So Upton with first and third, and they'll position the middle of the infield back, try to turn 2. Travis Jankowski is going to pinch run for Kemp, and then he'll stay in the game defensively and right. Jed Jerko has stayed in the game. He's at second base. Upton 0 for 3 tonight. And the safety squeeze, and he fouls it away. And we found out one thing in the first 3 weeks of this season. Andy Green likes that safety squeeze.
Yes, he does. And they work on the bunting all the time.
It won the Padres a game in Philadelphia. So runners return. Myers at third, Jankowski at first. Tejada and Jerko back looking for a double play chance. The corner infielders would come to the plate. Inside. Got a good pitch there.
Maine is trying to go down and in, up and in, trying to tie up Melvin Upton Jr.
Derek Norris on deck, 1 out. Padres at the corners. They've got another run here in the 7th. Some insurance. 4-1 the score. Ground ball to third. To second for one. Jerko to first. A double play. So Manus gets out of it, allowing only the 1 run. And Will Myers, 3 RBIs, a stolen base, a 3-for-3 night, leading the Padres to a 4-1 advantage.
A 4-1 Padre lead over the Cardinals in the top of the 8th inning. Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications. Boy, Will Myers, have a night, huh?
Yeah, he's been on fire, and you saw tonight early in the game looking for that home run power. Elevated pitch, he capitalized it, getting on top of this pitch. Also, he has done it all tonight. The sacrifice fly, the single, the double, the triple, a home run away, and you could see just wondering what's going on. 13 for 31. In his last at bats. Pretty nice.
Yeah, heck of an evening, that's for sure. When we see you in a post-game show, we'll break down everything that happened. Also, Andrew Kashner's night. And in addition, you'll hear from Andy Green. And also, we're going to show you probably the best throw of the year, certainly to date, so far in the big leagues. All coming up for you on the post-game show. Dick and Mark?
All right, Mike and Mark will be with you right after the final out. 4-1, Brandon Maurer out of the bullpen for the Padres. It's Stephen Piscotty, then Holiday and Adams for St. Louis. Piscotty, a loop single and a couple of ground outs tonight. Maurer, who hasn't had much work, did come in a meaningless game last night. The Padres were being belted 11-1 and worked the 9th inning 1-2-3 with a strikeout, keeping him sharp. Out of play. So Will Myers, a triple away from the cycle tonight. Swung on and missed, but it gets by Norris. He'll have to hustle his throw and gets him. Close play, and Myers leaning into foul territory, trying to shorten the distance on the throw from Norris after that ball got away.
You know, from my vantage point, it didn't look like Derek Norris really got that good carom. Look at where this ball ends up. Does it stick back there by the pad? Well, he's got a longer throw and good footwork and good positioning by Will Myers in foul territory. Nicely done.
So strikeout, put out 2-3, and Matt Holliday 0 for 1 tonight. Hit by a pitch, he's walked and grounded to short. Padres trying to move to 4-3 on this home stand and keep that record clean of scoring first and winning. They're 4-0 coming into tonight. And the other is when they score 4 runs this year, they're 6-0. If they don't, 0-10. They've got the 4. 96 on that fastball from Mauer.
Oh yeah, he's fresh. He's got it working quickly. That slider is snapping.
Ground ball right at the third baseman Rosales, and there's 2 away. It's just natural. He's just smiling when he wakes up in the morning, and you got to wipe the smile away when you go to sleep at night. Living the dream. Matt Adams has struck out twice and lined to left. So far, the off days for the Cardinals have not been kind to their record. They were off yesterday for travel, and previously this month, the game after an off day, they're 1-3. Fouled at the plate on a changeup.
First pitch changeup, and I'll tell you what, Brandon Mauer's in that bullpen. Watching Andrew Kastner tonight, throwing that changeup, so why not break it out yourself? That first at bat in the first inning, 3-2 changeup to strike out Matt Adams from Andrew Kastner, and he starts him off right here with a nice combo.
Shift on. Another changeup. And then a breaking ball, 1-2.
Nice slider, working both sides of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Couple of punch outs for Mauer in a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Home half of the 8th, it'll be Norris leading off for the Padres. San Diego leading by 3. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Padres with runs in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 7th inning. Sparked by the bat of Will Myers, knocking in 3 and a home run. 4-1 they lead. Bottom of the 8th, Derek Norris. A couple of long outs and a strikeout. Two and 0. Fernando Rodney getting ready for the 9th. 30,074 having a good time on this Friday night at the Ball Yard. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Game time 5:40. We'll be on the air here at 5 o'clock. Ground ball pulled foul. Well, that full moon on this is Earth Day.
Yes, it is.
And so the moon in a kind of a celebratory mood. It only happens about every 30 years on Earth Day that the moon is full.
It's a full one, all right.
It looks like a balloon that got away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Umbilicus there at the bottom.
There it is. Hey, if you can travel 230,100 miles, you're there.
Love to do it. Wouldn't that be a kick to be able to?
I'd be the first one in line if I could.
I'd sign up. 3-2 now to Norris. Sharply hit, right to the shortstop. Tejada cross, one away. Well, I wonder what our panel of experts down there in the Fox Sports San Diego truck have selected as our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Maybe it'll be Will Myers. Home run. Sac fly. RBI double. Well, you throw in a single as well. And now the RBI double. And what do you know? Our Carl's Jr. star of the game is Will Myers. What a game. Plus stolen base.
Yeah. That's a great night in the big leagues.
He's raised his season average over 300. Alexei Ramirez, a single and 3 at bats. Bounces another to Tejada. And there's 2 away. Jamal Weeks, a single and a walk, 1 for 2, scored a run. As we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals pretty much dominated the NL West, and in fact the entire National League. Only 2 teams had a winning record in the season series against St. Louis last year. The Padres were 1. 4-3. We're 2-1 here.
Remember that series last year, Dick? The Padres could have very easily swept the Cardinals because they were close games. Could have very easily. That's one tough place to play. In the years Busch 3 has been open, they've never had a losing season at home.
Yeah, the great fan support and you know, it's always a good team. And Padres were 2-2, but you're right. The 2 losses were tight right to the wire.
And they travel well. How you doing?
Weeks grounds it to the second baseman Jerko. A 1-2-3 inning for Seth Maness, all on groundouts. We go to the 9th. Fernando Rodney will look for his 3rd save as a Padre. He's going to protect a 4-1 lead.
play of the game.
Hey, let's go back to the 5th inning. Matt Carpenter up at the plate with 1 out, and runners at 2nd and 3rd. Look at this sequence of pitches. Andrew Cashner's dicing and slicing both sides of the plate, in and out, in with the fastball. Jams him. Okay, now here, he's got that changeup in the back of his mind from the previous couple pitches. He was looking for it, but he freezes him with the fastball. That is big-time pitching right there by Andrew Cashner in crunch time with 2 runners in scoring position.
A run and only 3 hits allowed by Andrew Cashner in his 6 innings of work. And here's Rodney seeking his 3rd save as a Padre. Grichuk, Molina, and Diaz stand in the way. That won't be Diaz. That'll be the pitcher's spot, so we'll get a pinch hitter. Grichuk, home run, his 2nd time up. Deep blast into the St. Louis Cardinals bullpen, deep left center. That's a strike. No surprise that Grichuk, now 24, made it to the big leagues in a hurry. He was a 1st-round pick by the Cardinals. And interestingly, was the player picked before the Angels took Mike Trout. Well, the Cardinals could have had Trout.
Yeah. Those are always fun to look back on, aren't they?
Yeah. Except if you're a Padre fan. Had some really tough draft years for San Diego. High fly ball deep into the right field corner. Jankowski, foul territory, watch out. Makes the catch. That DL list is getting too crowded with Padres. He was going full blast at that barrier.
Yeah, you want to go full bore and try to get to the farthest spot. Look at and then he's got to break it down, and then he leaps, and lucky he doesn't get his foot tangled up in there. That's great concentration. As soon as he catches it.
Yeah, his foot did get wedged in that webbing or the wiring there of the front of the box seats. Molina up 3 times, and he's grounded out all 3 to the left side of the infield. Twice to short and once to third. Brandon Moss is in the on-deck circle. Veteran power hitter with that for the pitcher. Two and one. Yadier Molina.
When Fernando Rodney is throwing the ball well, what is he doing? That 2-seamer down and away to righties, and of course that devastating changeup that he's got.
That one whistles foul.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Very nice. Another great night at the ball-yard for you, Mudcat.
Oh, yeah, love it. Bullpen did great up to this point.
Foul tip, that gets Norris.
Andrew Cashner had his good night in the big league. 6 innings, 3 hits, only 1 run. He struck out 4 Redbirds.
It'd be nice to get him in that win column.
Yes.
Pitched way too well to only have 6 victories last year. He's got no support with runs nor with defense. He got it tonight from Will Myers and a good solid defensive effort behind him. Well, Yadier Molina knows well it helps to have a little time to shake off the bite of that foul tip. So
that's a veteran move by Molina, isn't it?
Spectacular. Ground ball foul. So tomorrow night we'll see Cesar Vargas just up from El Paso against Michael Wacha, the big right-hander of the Cardinals. Tyson Ross jersey night for all you fans on Saturday night. Baseball night in San Diego. Fouls off a lot of pitches, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And a nice, easy swing. Yadier Molina is one of those hitters that doesn't overswing. Good mechanically, lets his body do the work, gets the bat in a good position. Tries to get that barrel out in front, but late on the Rodney fastball. And he's peppering that strike zone.
Outside. And a full count. Good call by the umpire, Everett. Based on our Fox tracks, brought to you by Nissan. Line to left field, and Upton has to play it on the hop.
I thought he was going to get that on the line. I thought that ball was going to hang up there just a little bit.
Good at bat for Molina. Fouled off 4 pitches and then rifles a single to left field.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about, because that swing is nice and easy. That ball rocketed off the bat. He's just getting in a good position, getting that barrel out in front and squaring that Fernando Rodney pitch up. He's coming right after him. He can be aggressive with the 3-run lead and a nice, fluid, easy swing.
Brandon Moss hitting only 194. He has 7 hits and 36 at bats, but 4 of the 7 hits home runs. The Cardinals have had home run power coming off the bench. 6 pinch hit home runs already this year. Diaz is homered as a pinch hitter, so is Adams. 2 of 4 home runs of Moss have been as a pinch hitter.
Hey, stay tuned after Fernando Rodney wraps this one up. Padres Live, the postgame show. We're going to hear from Will Myers and his night. We'll talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball. Andy Green will talk about his club and a preview of Padres POV. So stay tuned right after this.
2-1. Jeremy Hazelbaker is in the on-deck circle. Jed Jerko there on the front step, along with Matheny, checking the action. 1 out here in the 9th. 4-1 Padres. And Moss hits one high to right field. Jankowski has just enough room. 2 away. And that brings up Hazelbaker. Heading for Tejada. Tejada was 1 for 2, a double, and was hit by a pitch. Well, he's one of those career minor leaguers, Hazelbaker. 751 games in the minors, but gets his chance this year, and he just rocketed the first couple of weeks. I mean, they couldn't get him out. Now he's come back to earth. He's 0 for the last 16, hitting .310 on the year.
Hard to wipe off the smile of that Fryer with the way things are going right now for the Padres.
Cardinals down to their final out. Runner goes and it's fouled back. Myers is not holding Molina, so he was going to take second. Has to come back as the Birds are down to their final strike. Well, there's a fan in the mood for the topic of Cuba and baseball and the big show we're going to have on Monday night after the game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The changeup gets Hazel Baker. Molina fires one into the bullseye. Another save for the veteran right-hander. Myers checks it out. Yep, right in the heart of the bullseye. It's a final score. San Diego 4, St. Louis 1. Mike Pomerantz.
Beautiful ball game for your Friar. Rodney with his third save. What we see on a post-game show, we're going to give you a couple of candidates for the best throw of the year in Big League Baseball. Andy Green, Andrew Kashner on his start, and you're going to hear from Will Myers. All that plus a whole lot more coming up in moments.